Well, good morning from an overcast but pleasant Yamagata. Plan for now, go get 7-Eleven coffee, and I'm on my way to a train station, a little local one called Yamagata, just a little bit north of the main train station and just a little bit north of my ryokan. So the plan for today is to get the local train to a little place called Yamadera. And in Yamadera, that's where we begin the 1,000 steps up to the Risuki temple. Now, it's actually 1,015 steps, but let's not let facts get in the way of a good name. Well, mission 1 complete anyway. Now I'm just coming up to the little tiny train station now, but here's something I didn't have on my bingo card for 2025. I was just walking past a building back at the end of the road and I just noticed some guy walking in, wheeling something. I just didn't take much notice, so just take a second glance. I see him wheeling a bloody trolley with a body bag on it. Jesus, I wasn't expecting that. So this is where I'm heading, up here, up to the top. Made it to Yamadera about 10 minutes ago. Just talking to a couple of Australian lads, nice fellas. They're going further down to walk through the gorge and then walk from the gorge to here. But looking forward to this. It looks very nice from back at the train station. And so we begin. I might be a little bit underdressed, to be honest, because we're in a valley now. You can feel the wind picking up and it's a little bit chilly now. It might not be as bad when I get up here and I'm in between all the trees and a bit of cover from the wind, but we'll see how it goes anyway. I've only started the trail and there's already been about 4 temples. It's a good sign. Now surprisingly I had to pay an entrance fee, 500 yen, but I suppose still they can maintain everything here. So many people going through, probably not easy to maintain. Better be careful. No more look, they'll attack me. And the climb up is not too bad. Not too steep. And the steps are not really like too bunched together. There's little platforms you can rest on as you go, but I haven't needed to use them yet. It's pretty cool to see those kind of like tablets carved into the wall. Must have took some effort, imagine. Even building the temples up the top of this hill, like, especially back then when you had no bloody machinery, like this, it's tough when you think of it. They would have had to carry all their gear up here every time they were going to work. Not easy. But the way it's carved into the side here, there's writings, there's some drawings over there. Must have taken them forever to do it. That was a nice little lookout point up there, but the only problem with it was they had to put up a sign, so obviously got shitty tourists coming around, because you can see writing on the wooden walls, and they have a little sign saying no writing please, but you can see it's all in French and English, so it's all foreign tourists messing it up, which is a shame. Well, I've made it to the top. Wasn't that difficult. It's split up into load of little sections where there's other temples and shrines. So, but overall it wasn't too bad. Loads of old people down. Japanese old people are fairly fit though, so just on my way up to the top temple now. So that was the top. Very nice coming up here. I'm very happy that I decided to make the journey. Not only this temple but all the little shrines on the way up. It's very nice, but on the way back I'm going to take a different way that brings me out by another temple. I think it does. I don't know if I can go down that way because some of the ways are closed off. But I think I can. I don't know what this is, but I might walk up and take a look. Well, there's a sign outside that's saying no entry, staff only, so I guess that means no entry for me. in front of me, this is the memorial hall that was built for Emperor Taisho. And it was built as a place where he could have lunch after visiting the temple up above. I think in 1901 he visited. But after his visit, Yamadera and Yamagata became very popular for tourists in Japan because, of course, if the emperor was here, that means it must be good. Pretty mad when you think about it. He got this built just to have his lunch, and I'm wondering, did he actually walk up all these steps, or did he get all the lads to carry him up? My guess is they carried him, but what do I know? Well, that was Risuku Temple. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Walk up was nice. It's just interesting. It's not spectacular like on the way, but when you're here in person and you see all these little carvings and little stone sculptures, it's pretty fascinating. I have to give them credit for the amount of work they put in. And I didn't get attacked by any monkeys, so that's always a positive. Didn't even hear the branches rustling or anything like that, so it's probably a bit too cold for them. So I'm gonna walk into Yamadera now. It's not far, it's only down the hill a little bit. Have a little walk around, check it out. Might get a coffee there, maybe a cake if there's a little cafe. Just take a little stroll around, depending on how heavy the rain gets. Well, since the rain has essentially stopped, my plan is not to get the train back to Yamagata. Wasn't the plan anyway originally. The plan is to go to a place just north of Yamagata. I'm going to walk there. It shouldn't take that long really. It's a straight road going there. But it's called Tendo. And in Tendo, not Nintendo, in Tendo there's a couple of parks that look very nice, and I'm hoping the blossoms are out there. And I hope that if the weather picks up, it'll be perfect for walking around the park. Now it looks bright over that direction. Not sunny, but bright. I'll take bright clouds over dark clouds, although there's a bit of blue. So that's the plan for now. Keep you posted. Now I'm just walking up to the first park. There's two. And this one apparently is like a, what would you say? It's like a sports park as well, so there's like a little stadium in it. But I think there's cherry blossoms. I'm gonna check it out anyway, but I'll walk around it anyway. And if there's no cherry blossoms, I'll just go to the other park and check that out. It's only about a 10-minute walk from this one. Not too bad. I want to find somewhere in this park to sit down and eat my onigiri. I bought one a few minutes ago. I want to find a bench with a nice view, if there is one. And you can see all here, all these cherry trees, and on my way from Yamadera, oh, there was acres and acres of cherry orchards. The only thing is it's not the right time of year for them, but you can see they had these shops with the shutters pulled down and they were selling fresh cherries when they're in season. It's a shame though, would have loved to try them, and I'm not a cherry lover, but anything fresh is good, isn't it? Now the cherry trees might be in that direction, but I'm gonna walk all the way around. I come out that way because if they're not there, then I can go to the other park out that exit. I'm on my way to the second park, and I just see these steps going up. I think it might be a temple or a shrine. For some reason I feel like I'm just after ending up at the start of another hike. I think I did. Up through here. So the park is on that side somewhere, but I mean, doesn't look like it's flat ground to me. I'm gonna check it out. It depends on how far it is. If it's too far, I'll just turn back. But my plan to get to this park was actually to go a bit more. Before I turned at those steps, there was a road that brings you up and around, but kind of got distracted by the little temple, and now I've ended up on a hike. Jesus, it is steep. I'm gonna go for it anyway. It's not even 2 o'clock, so I've got time. Do I have the energy? Yeah, I had my onigiri back in the other park. Didn't record it because it's only onigiri, but the only view I had was the little pond with the ducks, and I was the only one mad enough to be sitting there eating because the clouds come over and it got a little bit chilly. You can see here I've just come up a fair amount up the hike, but all the way up I was surrounded by the growing bamboo. Now it's quite thin, the bamboo, but it keeps it shaded from the sun that's coming down now, which is nice. I'm sure it'll start raining now that I said that. Now up ahead we have Tendo Jinja, which means Tendo Shrine. I'm hearing animals around me, to be honest. I heard something, maybe it was a deer, but once it wasn't a bear, I don't care. This walk brings me back around and up to the park, the loop, so I'm not actually going off track, I'm just diverting a bit. Jesus, I came up a lot. It's a decent amount of elevation. So I made it to Tendo Jinja. Tendo Shrine. Just small, but nice placement on the side of the mountain. So I go down here and around and it brings me back onto the track to the park. Let's go. I think there's another shrine up here. I'm gonna go up to it anyway. You know, if I had a brain, I'd be dangerous. I come all the way up here thinking that brings me to the park. I thought it was just a high park. Well, it turns out I just came up for the shrine without realising it. So after I get to that shrine, it just goes downhill after that. So I could have actually just took the road around, but sure, look, no harm done. It's just a bit of sightseeing. Good experience anyway. Now I just have to figure out what way to go now. Heading down to the water now, to the lake, or pond I suppose. It's not really a lake, it's a pond. To see what it's like when you're right beside it, but more importantly, to go toilet. Not in the pond. There is toilets there. I've already said it before about Japanese old people being fit, but where I came down from, to the top, there's all stairs all the way down, zigzag, yeah. Like when I was coming down that, it's about 4 fellas, not together but separate. I'd say they were at least 80, and they're climbing up, like they're not stopping for little breaks. It's mad. At home that'd never happen. So I'm walking through this little trail. I come down this side of the mountain, but honestly I'm not sure if I'm able to. I don't know if this just leads into some farmer's garden. At least that's nice. I think it might lead down to the street. The street is this direction, but I don't want to be going through somebody's back garden or front garden or farm. Well, not a farm, but vegetable patch, because it looks like all the houses around here have their own little patches, but I can't imagine they made this little trail for themselves up to the mountain. Hasn't been walked on much lately anyway, it's very slippy. It has brought me down the side of someone's house. Now I'm hoping there's an opening between the houses that I can just walk through. I don't want to walk like by their window if they're having dinner or something, you know. Oh, okay. Thank God. It's public. I was getting worried that I was gonna have to go back up. That was the scary part. See, all the way up here and all the way back, you've got those little vegetable patches, and all the people that are living in these houses are coming across, tending to them. So, see, they probably don't really have a garden as such in the back that they can grow themselves, so they're using the bit of space that's out in front of them, which I think is great, to be honest. But I just hope they're cleaning it before they eat it, because the train track is right here, and all the shit that would be kicking up. Look, this guy's even doing stuff. Well, it took me a little while to get back, but I'm almost back at the rail camp. So I'm gonna go home first and I'm gonna plan where to go after Yamagata, because I haven't booked anything yet. So I better get a start, because tomorrow's my last night here, so I want to have something ready for after that. So I'm gonna have a little browse around on the map and see where's a good location. Well, I forgot to bring you with me when I went out to get food. I just went to a 7-Eleven, got one of the meals that they have there, and they cooked it, or they heated it up there, and I just had it at the table in the corner. So I was kind of tired after today, you know. A lot of walking, 47,000 steps. That's plenty. I'll just sit down and eat convenience store food, that's fine. Gonna go book me next destination now, so now it's time to rest. Good night. Thanks for joining me. Take it easy.